Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Andrew Davis, and welcome to Conversations in Pop Culture. And yes, I am hard to kill. I'm always hard to kill. And I do have a guest with me today, as I always do. But before I introduce my guest, I do want to remind everybody that this episode is brought to you over by my friends at PocketJackComics.com. Preston's got a lot of cool books like Palace of the Golden Princess, White Lily. Palace is one of my favorite books. It is beautifully illustrated. It is D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, but also maybe a little D&D in there is in there as well. Beautifully illustrated. Some very interesting things are in that book. And you can go pick that book up on his website, or better yet, he does a lot of Kickstarter stuff with that book. And I do not think you will be disappointed. And you might even find something you didn't know you liked in that book. But I digress because I got my good friend and cosplayer Cap Santiago. So welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, no, I'm always happy to have you on. I mean, I've known you for a while. What, like 5 years, right?
Yeah, I think it's been more than that because when we met at Seattle, that
No,
was
I
that was
was
quite
there
a
in
while ago.
Seattle.
Hmm?
I saw you in Awesome Con.
Was it awesome kind of?
It was Awesome Con because I was in DC and I'm an East Coast kid, and I still am on the East Coast.
I don't know why I thought it was Seattle.
Maybe you're thinking Seattle, Washington, versus Seattle, Washington, DC.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I take your word for it. But
Yeah, no, because I've never been. I'm not a West Coast kid. I'm not a West Coast kid. I do not want to be on the West Coast. I'm an East Coast person. I like East Coast stuff, and never gonna leave the East Coast. You have to drag me out of the East Coast. It's like dragging me out of the hood, right? Like it's terrible. So many things that I could say that will get me not canceled, but not in a good light. But I digress. I do want to, before we get into some stuff that you got going on and some controversial stuff, maybe I do want to let you have an opportunity to tell people who you are, because some people know you from certain interviews, some people don't that we've done, some people know you from the con scene, a bunch of stuff, but I kind of want to just get everybody up nice and quick. The basics, if you will.
sure. I'm Cap Santiago. I've been cosplaying for I think for over 2 decades now. Jeez, time flies. Um, I've competed in every major convention in the United States plus Canada. I am the first person to place in the cosplay championships in each major state. I also was the cover for Marvel Comics Nova. I was also featured in a one-page spread for Marvel Comics as Bucky Captain America. And I've been in numerous calendars in cosplay and in animal rescue. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you've done a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
To say the least. But yeah, so obviously I just wanted to kind of get everybody on what you do, and obviously I'm gonna let you promote yourself in a little bit here towards the end, but you got some stuff going on. So I think the one that I think we should start with is New York Comic Con, because you got a lot of interesting stuff going on with New York Comic Con. New York Comic Con is, I think it's the biggest, right? As far as pop culture events go. Um,
yeah. Before it used to be San Diego Comic Con, and now New York beats San Diego.
Technically, though, I mean, Fanatic Fest might actually be bigger than New York Comic Con, technically, which is kind of crazy. I don't know exactly, because I know Fanatic Fest did over 100,000.
Mm.
Um, and I consider that cards, memorabilia, WWE stuff, baseball, basketball, trading card stuff was at Fanatic Fest. Be Friends was there. But I don't know if it's truly pop culture, but it's definitely, I know New York Comic Con's in the top. I don't know which is bigger yet. But yeah, but obviously you're going to New York Comic Con, and your New York Comic Con situation is interesting to say the least.
Yeah. Well, here's a fun fact for you. I've been to every New York Comic Con since day one. I mean, day one. I used to go when it was Big Apple Con before the Mafia took over the Javits Center, and then it got shut down for a while. And then New York Comic Con came back, and I went every year, every stinking year. Not stinking year, but I went every year. So I've been going to New York Comic Con. Even if I wasn't cosplaying or if I had nothing going on, I would still find a reason to go to New York Comic Con. But what's most exciting is this year, Geek and Meat, the brand I run, is going to be coming back to New York Comic Con to do some events. The one event that I'm very, very excited about, and which actually got me fired from my previous job, was Swag Swap. So in Swag Swap, basically, if you have, let's say, if you have action figures, pops, Pokemon cards, apparel, and if you if you don't wear it anymore, if you don't like it anymore, there'll be somebody at the event that maybe might have something that you're interested in trading with, and maybe they might want something that you want, that you have. So that's pretty much how Swag Swap is all about. I'll be having some sponsors there. One of my main sponsors so far is Mora Backpacks. She makes custom backpacks here in the USA, and they're reversible and they're very versatile. And she'll be talking more about that when we raffle off one of her backpacks with a bunch of goodies in it at each show that we're doing. So we're doing New York Comic Con, and we're doing Anime NYC as well. And we're doing Tropicon, which is happening in 2 weeks as well in Long Island. Now back to New York Comic Con. The thing that's so interesting was that I put in for 2 panels, right? 2 years ago, I did the original event that was Geek and Meet, which is like speed dating or speed meeting, which whatever you're more comfortable with. So we did it 2 years ago, and it was so overwhelming. We had a line that was so long. We had to turn people away. There were people upset, disappointed, and I felt really bad about it. But the thing is, we could only work with what New York Comic Con gives us, and that's timing and the constraints of actually having a table to get people to sign up prior, so then we can actually do a count of how many people we can have, how many minutes we have possible, so that we can make sure everybody talks to everyone at the speed date. They only gave us 45 minutes, and we had well over maybe 50, 60 people each day that wanted to participate. And unfortunately, we had to turn down most of them away because we were only able to put maybe 15 people at most, so that everybody had enough time to talk to everybody. And then they would put down their contact information for the other person that they were interested in, and then call it a day. But we didn't really have time to do all that stuff. And then on top of that, we were also doing giveaways for places where they can go on dates. We had sponsors from like Spyscape and Barcade, and they gave us coupons and passes and free credit to.
Let's talk about this because obviously I got rejected from speed dating, not because I did anything wrong, but because you got to sign up quick. And what winds up happening is that, for those who don't know, when you go on speed dating things, the guy spots tend to fill up faster than the women's spots. For obvious reasons. It just happens that way most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. And a lot of times it's a little bit mismatched. For good reason. It's usually not. There's usually more guys than girls. Usually. And when you're running one of these things, you got to be real careful, because you don't want to have 20 guys and 10 girls. It's just not going to work. If you have 18 guys and 16 girls, that's fine. A 5-minute round, a guy just grabs a drink, essentially. It's not that big of a deal. So what was that like, though? Because clearly, I mean, I don't know exactly at a convention, but I'm not looking for love at a convention. I'm there for business when I used to go. And I don't know how many people are looking for, to go on speed dating. I don't know how many girls are really interested in doing that. And like, because it's complicated, right? I mean, dating in general is complicated, but at a convention, it's even more complicated. I don't know how to say this any other way. Like, I'm trying not to say the thing that I'm supposed to not say in the room here. I mean, I don't know. I'm running out of things how I can say this
All right.
politely.
So I'll tell you. Yes, when we did our event, we had sign up at the beginning of the day until the time we were going to begin. And at first, all the slots were filled by men already. We had maybe 3 or 4 girls that were already signed up too. But once we had all the slots for the men filled out and we needed women, it became, go time. So I would go, and the people I worked with, she started like unbuttoning my shirt, trying to, get me to entice some of the women to come and be like, oh, well, maybe there might be guys that look like him, so maybe I will sign up. So I went around. The floor. I started, looking for women that were in groups, because hey, if 3 of them all want to come, then that's more spots filled even faster. And I would, introduce myself, tell them the event I'm doing, and hey, would you like to come and participate? And some of them said yes, some of them said no. But the beauty of going to talk to women that are in groups was very beneficial, because I was able to fill the slots pretty quick. Now, the waiting game until the event happens, because once we have everybody, we can relax until the event starts. So once the event starts, we have to make sure that everybody is, school attendance, everybody's here, check. Great. Then we see everybody down, we explain the rules, and pretty much from there, the people that are participating are the ones that help it run smoothly. But yes, um, it's it's hustle time when you have maybe like 18 guys and you only have 4 girls. It's like, okay, I gotta go and get some women that might be interested, get them to sign up, because the thing is, you want to appease everybody that's participating. You want them to have a good time. You want them to feel like, oh wow, this is really cool. I would love to do this again. I really enjoyed myself. Because when you're running an event and if no one's enjoying themselves, then you're pretty much blacklisting yourself.
I mean, it's also complicated because obviously I used to do fan panels, and I like to have interesting panels. I like to tell jokes. I like to be energetic. I don't use a microphone when I present for a reason, and my voice reaches to the back of the room, because microphones just stress me out.
Mhm.
And people are like, "How are you being so vocal and so energetic?" But I build my panels where I have jokes, and one of my jokes is that I said a utopia and a dystopia are the exact same thing. They're just spelled a little differently. And the reason why I made that joke in the middle of a panel talking about The Walking Dead and Attack on Titan is that everybody just started to laugh in
Mhm.
that joke. And but the joke was timed to be 15 minutes in to the panel so that everybody would have a good time, because I want people to enjoy themselves. And it's a real skill, because I'm not so worried about blacklisting myself if I'm talking about an obscure thing. Like my favorite topics are off, based topics that are like old school anime stuff. And if I have 20 people in there, those 20 people love talking about this stuff. But when you have 400 people in a room, you better know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's also a lot to ask people to say, "Hey, I'm gonna go mingle with people," because, well, let's be realistic, it's kind of hard.
Yes. I'll tell you a little story that happened on Friday. We had a female cosplayer come up, and oh, what's this? And one of the people working with me was explaining what our event was about, geeking me, everything going on. Once she said speed dating, she was completely like, "Oh, no, 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 that's okay, that's okay. No, I'm not interested in dating." And I quickly had to step in, and I just said, "Well, it's just a name. You're not here to get married. I mean, if you come, you're not going to get married. You're not going to put down a mortgage on a house with somebody.
Unless you want to. Unless you want to. We're all for it. We're all for it. Okay, it's all right if it works out for you. I would like a thank you,
Yeah.
but like no pressure.
Yeah. So I mean, I told her, you're just meeting people, and you're just feeling the vibe. That's it. That's all you're doing. So we had to do a a game huddle, and just like, what, we're gonna just mention that, it is speed dating, but we're not gonna say the dating part. We're gonna say, that it's like we're just gonna say geek meeting. That's what I called it, geek meeting. So it could be
Let
someone
me ask
wants to.
you this. Let me
Hmm?
ask you this
Yes.
because I reach out for people with interviews, and some people say, "Oh, I'm not big enough." I'm like, "You have 1,000 followers on Instagram. I'm not asking you for an interview because you have 1,000 followers on Instagram." It's like, "I want to grow my channel." I'm like, "I don't think you get it. If you don't feel that you belong here, I'm asking you because I think you belong here, right?" And I think people get hung up on names a little bit too much,
Mm.
right? So, I interview a variety of people, and I like the word adult a lot. Some people like the word, the industry, the porn industry, or the corn industry, if you will. Getting those. Oh, there's a joke in here somewhere, and I just realized how bad of a joke it is. So I'm not going to continue with the joke. I'm going to jump ship on that one. But I think people get hung up on names, right? And,
Mhm.
and I think names terrify people. And I'm like, even with interviews, people are like, "Oh, I don't feel comfortable on air." I'm like, but you're speaking to people at a convention. This is no different on air. And I'm curious how you feel about that, even at like some of these events you're running, where people, I think, are just so terrified of like the unknown. It's like, great, you're just meeting somebody who is nerdy like you, that's the opposite sex. This isn't complicated. And men and women have been doing this forever, and men have been doing this forever, and women have been doing this forever. I mean, I hate to say it, like, so I don't know how you feel about it, but do you feel that's part of it, that people are just like, I'm just terrified because it just has a name, and the name somehow freaks somebody out?
Absolutely. At that moment, I was just learning in real time that, okay, we have to just kind of reword the situation, because for some reason people are being scared off. So it was just adapting really quick at that moment, because we needed some spots to be filled up, so that everybody can talk to everyone that's there, and feel fulfilled with what they were coming for. So yeah, on Saturday, I made some new, like, flyers, and I changed it to Geek Meeting, or Geek Meeting, something like that. It was really snappy. It was really cool. Um, and then on Saturday we had a better response from everybody across the board. I mean, obviously, of course, the men is they're gonna come. But the more important thing was, with the women, I had to do less hustling to try to pitch my event to them, so that they could come and check it out.
So let me ask this. I mean, when you build this event, right? What was it built around, more men centric, or was it built around more women? Because I mean, I was looking at this speed dating thing, and it's in where I live. It's legitly like a mile and a half away, so it's perfect for me, right? I'm just gonna take an Uber there. It's gonna be so easy for me. If it goes to hell, I'll just get the hell out of there. I'll be home, and I'll go watch like a TNA at like 10 o'clock. Like, it's terrible. Go Joe Henry, go. Terrible. I'll just jump ship immediately, right? Yeah, I'll be home in like 15 minutes. I'll stop off at Dunkin' Donuts in between. I'll still get home before Impact starts, but not the point. But like this speed dating thing, from what I looked at it, it was built more around women because men are going to come to this, and I'm curious how you feel about that. I know this is controversial, but like I find that speed dating components typically the ones that I've been to, the ones that have been more built around women first tend to be better because I think
So,
they're harder one to get than the men.
I'll tell you the idea for Geek and Me. It came from a decade ago from sci-fi speed dating. It was huge. I mean, huge. The guy who used to run it, Ryan Glick, he used to go all over the states, every convention, doing sci-fi speed dating. And I remember seeing him a few times, and he had a line for men and women across the board. And I'm talking about huge lines. And it was no effort whatsoever. Everyone came in, they signed up. So when I thought about that 10 years ago, which was obviously a different time, it was very different with how men and women can look at this event at a Comic Con and say, "Oh wow, this is pretty cool. You know what? Maybe I might meet somebody that's really cool and unique, and let me go check it out." I think with today's society, it's a lot different because of COVID and um, maybe their upbringing. So I've definitely it was eye opening
There's a
to
lot of
see.
factors. There's a lot of factors. I mean, with men, men are getting married later now, and I mean, I have no problem stating this. There's more entertainment. So as a guy, I could pop in, a frozen dinner. That definitely affects, finding a relationship. And I'm gonna say sound something, but it used to be 30 years ago, your wife would cook, right? And men were not we knew how to grill, but a man wasn't like a cook, right? Now food delivery services, a bunch of stuff has increased. There's more entertainment. There's other things that are adult for men and for women too, in many ways. And so a lot of stuff has changed. And also, what I think is that, I mean, I just think that people might also be more skeptical, and they might be, less trusting in society right now. And there's been a lot of reasons why. I mean, a lot of things have happened in the world in the last 30 years that has shifted people's ideologies that make people less or more trusting. And it depends what you've experienced and what you have been through. And I think there's a lot of stuff. Then all of a sudden, it's not so easy to throw yourself out there. And I don't think it's so easy. I think it's harder for women, and I think it's easier for men. But I don't think it's fully easier for men either. I don't, and I think men are very scared of marriage right now. And I've had conversations with people in the adult industry of what they think about men, and their answers are very conservative. Despite being in a very liberal environment, their answers are extremely conservative,
Oh
which
wow.
is mind blowing. It's mind boggling. Their answers, because their answers don't align with their profession, which is mind blowing. But sorry to hijack it and get you canceled.
Yeah.
But I find this event so interesting because it's perfect for me. like, I wanna meet a nerdy girl. I want a
Yeah.
girl who's like into Star Wars and wants to go make a lightsaber with me. I mean like a lightsaber. I don't mean a baby. I mean a lightsaber. Like us going to Disney in Star Wars World to make lightsabers. Oh my god, that'd be so much fun for our honeymoon. Oh my god, that'd be like the best thing ever.
Yeah. I mean, I I I do feel that, obviously with this generation, being a geek, being a nerd, being into superheroes and comic books, it's all just very mainstream now. We're not looked upon as freaks or weirdos, but it's still hard for some people to still just socialize in general. So I feel like I feel like with our Geek and Meet, Um, we also, besides just, people wanting to just talk with the opposite sex, we also did platonic uh, geek meeting, which was just, you could just talk to a guy across from you, or you could talk to a woman across from you within the next seat that you rotated to. So we did that also because we realized that, some people just want to talk to other people, because outside of conventions, they don't really have people to share their interests with. And they don't really know where to go to find these people to share these interests with, especially since New York Comic Con is so huge. You have people from all over the world that come for this convention. I've met people in Ireland, in Brazil, Ecuador, that come just for New York Comic Con. And it's crazy. It's amazing.
No. I used to go to this event. It was like geek and drink. It was great. There was no speed dating. It's a bunch of nerds in a bar. It was fantastic. It was like a few girls, a bunch of guys, and it was great. And all we're doing is like I'm just sipping my Jack and Coke, and we're like just talking about like Naruto. It was awesome, right? And it wasn't. I mean, I have nerdy friends. I didn't need to go, but I said I got nothing to do on a Monday night, and this is legitimately like 2 metro stops away in DC. Why the fuck wouldn't I go? Like this is awesome, right? And I'm gonna go order myself a Jack and Coke. I'm not gonna worry about a damn thing, and I'm not looking for anything. I'm just looking to like talk about like pop culture, right? Because you don't. I've never. Me and my friends go to a bar, and this is what we talk about. We all we do is we'll talk about if we find a particular actress or celebrity attractive, and then we'll come up with something. We're talking about like, what'd you think of Star Wars Episode 8? Like while we're getting plastered. And this is what me and my friends do. Or conversely, we'll just talk about something that's completely ridiculous that has nothing to do with anything. But then, but so I find that interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, but you're not doing it this year.
No, the thing is, 2 years ago when we did do it, again, we could only work with what was given to us. So just to be given 45 minutes, it's difficult to get as many people as we want involved without them being disappointed. We needed the main factor was time. We needed time, and we obviously couldn't do it because everyone is only entitled to 45 minutes, and that's fine. But I pleaded, I spoke my case. Hey, is there any way we can work something out where maybe we can be the last panel? We can just have some extra time that way, because they still had events going on till like 11 p.m. I mean, I wasn't going to keep everybody that late, but just like maybe an hour or an hour and 30 minutes the most. And just to get everything done, from the prizes that we had to everybody, making sure that they got to speak to everybody that was participating. But I do feel that the silver lining was with Saturday. With everything I learned from Friday, applying it into Saturday, everybody came to me at the end and said they had a great time. Where else am I doing this? Am I going to any other conventions? So that for me was the accomplishment, was to make sure that everybody that attended was pleased, had fun, and was happy about
Let me ask you
what they
this.
came for.
I think you brought up a good point. So, I mean, I did my Attack on Titan panel in Awesome Con, and I was like the last panel, and they gave me like another 20 minutes, and I was like, yeah, I don't care. like nobody's gonna torture you. It's 9, like 10. If everybody else wants to stay around for 20 minutes, just ask you questions and stuff. I said, let's go, guys. Everybody want to just continue this conversation? Everybody was into it, right? And it was nice being the last panel, right? So,
Mhm.
so it was cool that regard. And that was fun, right? What was also cool at Anime NYC the first year is I did 2 panels back to back. So I just marathon the whole thing. And I just kept going. And I jumped right from panel 1 of Gundam into like Attack on Titan, Walking Dead, and Fahrenheit 451. And oh my God. And I said to everybody in the room, because after I finished, I said, if you leave this panel, you're not coming back in. And only like 5 people left. And a bunch of people said, I wasn't going to stay for this next thing because I don't like this topic, but you were really good on this one. I'm so curious what you're going to do next. I said, oh, guys, I'm super stoked. Coolest experience ever. And this is one of the best things about public speaking that I've learned is the reason why my second panel was even better than my first panel was I grew with the room because I was already in the room and the rows were just filling up one after another. And then the guy, I said, hey, how's it looking out there? He said, dude, you got something, man. You're going to have a crowd. I said, okay, 100 people, let's go. I'm thrilled. And like the whole room was filled up. I'm like, oh boy. But I mean, do you think, but tabling all that, do you think that New York Comic Con just didn't get that with speed dating? That you need more time because the event itself kind of suggests that you kind of need more time. I mean, because this is we were speaking about, and this is my issue with cons, is I say, hey, look, I would like something. Can you guys help me out with something? Can you introduce me? I run a podcast. Can you introduce me to somebody who could be helpful? Can I speak to your director on my show? Anything. And I feel when I was doing this and doing all this stuff at conventions, there was no help provided for me where they just didn't get it. And I'm not saying you have to do it today, guys, but like, can you help me out? Can you, give me like a free food voucher? Can you do something for me when I'm doing 3, 4, 5 panels? I don't have the same time that everybody else has.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not asking you to cover my hotel room. I'm not asking you to give me money. I'm asking you to throw me a bone. Or is there a way that we could put my panels back to back to back so that I can enjoy parts of the con? Like I've genuinely asked cons this and they don't get it. And I'm wondering if it's just like New York Comic Con or any convention, either they don't get it or they don't understand, or it's just that they're scheduling so much shit that they're like, I don't want to accommodate because this is hell to already do it as it sits.
Yeah, I think with the big conventions, there's just so much to manage for sure. So across the board, it's just easier for them to just say, okay, we're going to give this person a panel. It's going to be 45 minutes. We're going to set the schedule like this, boom, 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 and that's it. I feel like with the smaller shows, it's a lot more intimate where you can actually talk to the showrunner, you can email them, they'll respond back to you. I spoke with Peter from Tropicon and he was so helpful. And I thought he was only going to put Swag Swap just for one day, but he gave me Saturday and Sunday for Tropicon. So he sees something with that, and he's been very responsive and definitely, I feel with the smaller shows, it's easier to be more accommodated if you need more time or if you need more seats or table or whatever. It's so much easier because with the big shows, it's so easy to just miscommunicate one thing and all the dominoes will just fall apart for sure.
I mean, what happened with Anime NYC is that somebody needed to move their panel into my second thing. So my first panel was going to be at this time. It's going to be an hour break, and then I was going to have my second panel. And they asked me if I could swap. I said, "Let's go, let's do it, let's go." And I'm like, "This is going to be awesome. I'll just go back to back." And it was actually more beneficial. So if I'm ever to do 2 panels, I'm going to say to a convention, I'm going to say, "Look, put all 3 of my panels in a row, and I'll go for 3 hours." Because it's just going to be so much more efficient for me on every level. Because once I get rolling, that's the thing too about me is that once I get rolling, I'm now coming into my element. It's the same reason why I do 2 or 3 interviews sometimes in a night, because the first interview is fine. The second interview is better. And that third interview, I'm just flying and I'm on a different level because now I'm in the zone. And like that's how I feel. And I don't think and the reason why I bring this up to conventions, I say, look, if you want the most success out of me, we got to run it the way I run success. I'm not like anybody. Other people want breaks between when they speak. I don't. I just want to go. Give me a 3-hour block and just say, Andrew, fill the time. Don't like just give me a 3-hour block, New York Comic Con, and I will blow you out of the water in 3 hours. I won't have a panel. I will have 3 hours of me just doing like a party with like magic and stand up and knowledge straight out, and people be like, "I'm good. I'm good."
You know what's funny is with New York Comic Con, the panels are all 45 minutes, but with Anime NYC, from what I looked at on the schedule for me, I think I have the room for about 3 hours for swag swap, which is pretty cool because then, you know, if people leave, people can just come in. So I'm excited about that, and I'm gonna have a lot of stuff to be giving away to people. We're gonna be raffling off some stuff at Tropicon, at New York Comic Con, and at Anime NYC. We're gonna be raffling some stuff off. So if people win something that they don't want, guess what they can do with it? Just swap it with something else that someone else has that they want.
That's crazy. No, that's good though. It's like, I mean, again, my issue with Anime NYC was that I had a great 2 panels, and then the next year I applied, and they like went corporate, and I wasn't thrilled with them, and I'm like, you guys were really indie, and I thought you were doing something that was so cool, and then and I wasn't the only one who said this. This has been a fair criticism of them, is that and it changed my opinion, is that half the people who had really successful full panels did not get accepted back. And what all of us said online is, we're like, what the fuck? We delivered amazing content for you guys, and then a lot of us felt hurt. And I'm fine, and I understand this is a business, right? And I understand that your corporate sponsors want time and everything, and I understand that from a business level. But you also got to realize that you've done something where you kind of agitated the core and the base a little bit, and I have no problem speaking about that. No problem speaking about that. No problem about New York Comic Con. No problem about all of this. Because again, I think that there is an issue with all of this, and I think I think the roosters will come home to the roost, or whatever that saying is. I think it's going to come back, and I think it's starting to be honest.
Yeah, I've noticed this even with San Diego Comic Con, with New York Comic Con throughout the years. I remember when I went to San Diego Comic Con, a ticket, a badge, whatever, it used to be $75, just $75, and now it's like, you know, $300
Oh,
for
and a
for
D
the
to your
badge.
house, and a D to your house, and part of your soul.
I know somebody that bought a badge for $1,000 on Craigslist for San Diego Comic Con. I was just shocked that she even did that. But I mean, you know, hey, to each his
I
own.
can't
If
afford this. I can't afford this, and I run a business dealing with a lot of merch right now on my eBay store. Because anybody, not to plug my eBay store, I have $22,000 worth of merch on 100 items in my eBay store right now, and I can't afford to go to New York Comic Con. I can't afford to do that because what New York Comic Con is, what, like 115 or 120 for like a day, or for like 3 days, something around there.
no, no, I think for 3 days, New York Comic Con is like $200 now.
Let's break this down economically, and feel free to tell me if I'm wrong. It's $200. You got to get to New York Comic Con. So let's say you live in New York City, you're taking a cab, you're taking the subway, fine. If you're taking the subway, what is it, $10 maybe if you're in Brooklyn, maybe 15, if at all that much.
No, because if you take a train, it's just 290.
Fair enough. I don't live in New York City. It's been a while, so it's $6 round trip. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, around, yeah, something like that. Or
fine,
five.
fine. You know where I'm going with this, but I'm going to outline
Yeah,
it anyway. You got to eat. You got
yeah.
to. I'm not saying you got to eat breakfast at the con, and you don't have to eat dinner, but you sure as hell have to eat lunch at some point or something. Great lunch at a con, $30. Okay, 30
You're
bucks.
right. You're
30
right.
bucks for a $5 lunch, okay? And Now, no. But it's the price of doing business. So we're at for day one. Okay, so let's say so far we are at $236. Okay, then you say, I'm not going to the bars after this and going to one of these clubs. Fuck it, I want to go home and sleep in my bed. Okay, so you know what it is. If you're walking around for 9 hours, no offense, I don't want to hang out with a cosplayer in a bar anytime soon after 9 hours at New York Comic Con. I would like to smell, my house and not New Delhi. Um, Sorry, it's a Big Bang joke. Raj says to the FBI agent, please don't send me back to India. It smells like New Delhi. It's but worse than Comic-Con. It's a great joke. But so great. We're at $236. But then everything, there's so much shit to buy, and everything costs some money to do at New York Comic-Con. So you need at least $1,000 to have a good time at New York Comic-Con. And if you go 2 days, you're looking at about minimum 1,600 over 2 days.
Let me tell you something.
Am I wrong yet? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Thank you. I feel vindicated.
I would say that someone that is experienced at going to Comic-Con, they should know by now that impulse buying is not a good thing. I will tell you, with a lot of these major dealers that have tables, you can find what they're selling at the con is maybe $50, and you'll find it on their website or even on Amazon for half that, maybe, or just what, maybe $10 or $15 less. So don't impulse buy.
The things you should buy at a convention are the following. Fanatic Fest had exclusive boxes that were like New York themed baseball card boxes. You can't get those on Tops. So they're exclusive to Fanatic Fest, and then a few of them get onto the website, but the likelihood of you getting them on Fanatic Fest a week later, they sell out within 30 seconds of hitting the website. So if you're going to that con and you buy that, that's not an impulse buy. Fair assessment, right? A convention variant, not an impulse buy. But a variant that's at somebody's table for $100, it depends what variant it is. If you're buying a Frank Miller book from 7 years ago, that's a limited 100. Most likely, it's probably priced somewhat reasonably for considering what it is. But I agree. So when I go to a convention, I have a budget. I have $1,000 in cash. I don't bring a credit card. I bring my debit card everywhere, but I don't use my debit card or my credit card at a convention if it can be avoided. But I have a list of everything I want to buy, and I follow my list, and then I have $100 miscellaneous fund for fuckery. The last time I was at a convention, I had $1,200. I came home with $300 still left in my wallet.
Okay.
Which means because somebody wasn't there that I wanted to get an autograph from, but I got everything I wanted and I was ready to pay for all of it, and a bunch of people signed for free. They were happy to sign for free. So there you go. But I agree. Impulse buying is horrible at conventions, and I see it.
I've saved a lot of money just not saying, oh my God, that looks so cool, I'm gonna just get it, and it's like this, keychain or something, and it's like $20. But I tell that to everybody who comes to me and always tell me, I never really see you buy stuff. I'm like, I buy stuff on Sunday. And that's another thing too. If you buy stuff on Sunday, depending on the table, you can probably haggle your way to, what, can I get this, instead of 15, can I get it for 12? And more than likely, they might agree. They'll agree with it because they don't want to go home with that merch. They want to go home with.
I'll one up you. You ever go to a table on Friday? So it's cool, and the statue's 45 or 50. That table on Sunday, if the statue is still around, it's $40. Because the dealer, every item the dealer doesn't have to pack back home is good. it means they have to make one less trip. So if they're putting out 12 statues they brought and they have to carry home 10 of them, that means they have to make 2 trips. If they have to carry home 6 of them, that fits in 1 crate, not 2. So that's one less trip they have to make, and they just want to get the fuck out of there. So all of a sudden, they're willing to take less. And then sometimes you say, look, I want all this. So I want these 3 things you got over here. Would you do 30 instead of 35? And so he's like, yeah, I'll do 30 on that. But but unless I really want it, and I just say fuck it, because sometimes I want something and I know it's going to sell out, so I just buy it.
Yeah, like if I see like, all right, let's say, throughout the entire con, I saw like this one book, there was like 6 of them. And then on Sunday, I see that there's 1 left. I'm going to probably buy that one because that's the last one. But that's it.
I'll give an example. So I used to buy numbered statues. I don't fuck around with numbered items. So if a comic book or a statue is numbered, I'm going to buy it because there's only so many of them out there. If I really like it. If I don't love it, I'm fine with not like, I'm like, okay, cool. I don't need to go and, like I have a poison ivy numbered statue. I love that statue, right? It's numbered. It's awesome, but I'm not gonna go fuck around with that. But I mean, again, this is why I don't do cons. I find them to be a gigantic money pit, and I'm already spending boatloads of money elsewhere. And it's just I just don't have the finances right now with my business that's growing, and I find that the shit that I buy doesn't retain value either. While me buying a lot of baseball cards, basketball cards, and everything else retains a lot of value, and I find that it's pay to play. I mean, you remember the days, right, where a lot of people sign for free or for cheaply.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the days at anime cons where all these voice actors didn't charge. Now they all charge $60 for an autograph, and I'm like, I like you, but you're not a $60 voice actor. I'm sorry, you're not. And I'm paying to come see you for you to charge me money. And what kills me even more is that you're charging $60, but then you're charging me $80 if you want to sign a card. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I remember I used to get free sketches, and I have a lot of sketches from some artists before they became big. But back in the day, yeah, like I would just ask like, oh, hey, can I get a quick sketch of one of your characters? And sometimes they're not doing anything. They're like, yeah, sure, and they do something really cool, or they do something really quick. I just enjoyed seeing the process of what they were creating. That was really cool to me. But yeah, now just a quick sketch is like easily $30.
It's crazy. Look, you know what it is? I mean, I like Scott Snyder. I have no problem saying it. I think the guy sold out. I think he sold out. Seth Rollins will say, no, he bought in. That's a good joke. That's a good joke. Seth Rollins, no, I bought into the authority. No. But in many ways, Scott has sold out. You look at what he charges, $10 for a raw signature. Are you out of your fucking mind, dude? And like, I think somebody has to sit him down and be like, you're the guy who says, I love indie comics. You're the guy who says, I love this. And then you're out there on that tree, but then you created Black Jacket Press. You're doing all this stuff. You're doing all this stuff with DC. And then it's like $20 for this, for getting graded, or 30 for graded, 50 for this book, like 118, like 118, so 818. And I'm like, when did you sell out, bro? You were the guy who was like, I love indie comics and I want to support comic shit. You're charging everybody and nickeling and diming your fan. And nobody has the balls to say it, but I will. Because I think I have the moral argument and I think I have the factual argument. And I don't think he's the only one who sold out. I think all of these people to some degree said, I love comics and that they love this shit, but then they sell out. I don't sell out. I've turned down sponsors that I thought were harmful to my audience. I turned down money that would have set me up for probably the next 5 years because I didn't want to be sponsored by those people. And that's my issue with all of this.
Yeah.
It's a genuine issue, and I just feel that nobody's seeing it, or nobody has the balls to say it, or nobody wants to. Because let's be realistic: how many people can actually say what they want to say without consequences? I,
Yeah.
I'm I'm beholden to nobody. I'm beholden to nobody because I can go and I can leave comics right now, and I won't look back. I am beholden to nobody in this sector.
I mean,
If you
and that's where what separates the people is if you're a real Snyder fan, and if that's what you want to do and spend that money and everything, get the all bells and whistles. I mean, go ahead and go for it if that's what you desire. Other people just don't see it that way, and that's fine too.
I mean, look, I've seen the evolution, right?
Hmm.
There's no question about the facts of what it looks like, right? You can do whatever you want. Doing what you want and seeing the facts are two different things, right? So so I've seen how what New York Comic Con is and all these Comic Cons are, and I just find them to be a gigantic money pit, and I find them to be really overpriced. And I made this statement before: is that you're paying to go shopping at the mall. It's not wrong. It's not
No,
wrong.
no, no, you're right. You're right. It's kind of that way. Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
I wouldn't have a problem if New York Comic Con basically said the following: is that you get a punch ticket, right, of X amount of signatures that you can get for free on anything you want, right, with certain people, right? So you can get like 3 signatures and then your ticket's punched. Then everything else you got to pay for. But your ticket's $200.
Mm.
Because at a certain point, I don't think so. I'm paying you $200 to come in so that you can charge me money. What am I exactly getting here by paying you money so that I have the privilege to spend more money?
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Am I the only one who sees this? When I go to a WWE event, right? I'm watching John Cena wrestle Cody Rhodes. Like what I'm getting is to be entertained. I don't know. I have gripes. I'm probably ruining your career. It's all right.
I mean, what gets me is the celebrity photo ops. It's like, $400 with Chris Hemsworth, and uh, to me, that's just ridiculous amount of money. And
You're right.
maybe
You should charge more.
I don't know. I mean,
I'll pay him $800 if he calls me daddy. But I'll record it this way. I can then go to my girlfriend and be like, "See, Thor thinks I'm daddy." So you calling me Captain America in the bedroom is just not going to work anymore. It'll be well worth the $800. Well worth
okay,
it.
yeah, all right.
I'll pay
I don't know.
12.
That's actually not bad. I actually now you got
$800.
me thinking twice about it.
No. All jokes aside, though, it's what was it like $1,200 for Henry Cavill?
I think so. I forgot what show that was, but yeah, it's a lot of money,
I
and
mean, how much was? I mean, what was it? What was it? Boston Comic Con paid Sasha Banks like 60 grand to be there on a guarantee.
jeez, I don't know about that. If they really paid her that much to be there, I guess I guess they want to make their money back, so that's why they charge as much as they do for these celebrities. But I'll be honest with you, I don't feel like we need that. I don't feel like we need that. Like if someone wants to come to a panel and talk whatever, maybe, take photos with people at the panel or something like that on their way out. Okay, but I just feel like these expensive photo ops, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. I'm pretty sure there's other people that feel the same way, but it's just a lot of money. And the thing is, we made these people by going to see their movie. I feel like if we're gonna have a photo op, it shouldn't have to be $400. I mean, I'm happy paying 50 the most. And
This is what it's becoming, and this is where we get controversial. There gets a point where something is way too expensive. At this point, I mean, look, I bought expensive cards. I mean, I have a Page Bucher card that I bought $550 for a limited 5, right? But I look at Panini. Panini charges for a Page Bucher auto like a 5 of hers on a particular card that's Panini Instant, like $800. And my response to Panini is like, you're making it so that I can't buy that card and flip it. You're taking, and I understand there's an element of that where great, I can't flip it and make money doing it. Fine. But how many fucking people can afford an $800 fucking card? Like we talk about this, right? And it's like, I mean, I can afford an $800 card if I wanted it badly enough. I wanted to move around a lot of money, but I'm running a fucking business. And I mean, I make way more money on my business than I do at my day job, or I used to, obviously. Those who don't know, I got laid off from my job. Very, very complicated issue a few months ago. Life's hard, but it's this issue where I was making 60 G's at my job. Like, how the fuck can I afford New York Comic Con at 60 grand? And like, this, I think people are significantly priced out of this shit. And I don't know how people afford it. I don't. And I think it's gotten too high. And I think these people are actually going to kill themselves. And not like in there, the cash cow. I should really say it that way. Where they're not going to physically kill themselves. I want to make that crystal clear. But I think they're actually going to kill their revenue because I think it's becoming too goddamn fucking expensive. I think that there's a line where this is becoming too expensive, and life has now also increased in expenditure. I mean, I hate to say it, inflation doesn't help because if your eggs are more expensive, that means you have less money for other things. But if these celebrities still want that money, and I see the writing on the wall. I mean, I really do.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have people that still are gonna pay X amount of dollars for, a picture with, Chris Evans, and more power to them on that. I just think that as fans, there should be some sort of appreciation for us seeing their movie, making them famous.
I don't have a problem. I'll make my point real crystal clear. I don't have a problem with them charging and monetizing their name, their likeness, their time, and all that stuff. But I have a problem when it becomes, in my opinion, a little too extreme. You don't need to charge $400 for a photo. If you want to charge $100, fine. But really, it's becoming excessive. And I don't think if we're going to look at, I mean, we have to define what excessive is. But I think we all agree that, we all have an idea of what the word excessive means. Is that a fair assessment? So if I go and I usually order a Jack and Coke and then I order another Jack and Coke, that's not excessive, right?
Yeah, it's just 2 drinks.
If I order 10 Jack and Cokes, we're probably in excessive territory, depending on what's going on. So I had a lot to drink on SummerSlam with my friends, but nobody was driving, and we bought a 1.75 bottle, and I had probably about 6-7 shots of Jack over the course of about 8 hours of us all just bullshitting and talking. I don't know if that was excessive because it was in my house and it wasn't expensive. But if I'm at a bar and I'm doing 12 shots of Jack, I might say that's excessive, right?
Yeah.
But if I do 3, I don't think it's excessive. But that's where and then if we apply this to celebrities, I think 400, 500, $600 with some of these people, I think it's fucking excessive. I think I think Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, and Ben Affleck were at a convention. I think it was like 400 a piece. None of those 3 need that money. I think
400 piece.
I think, or maybe it was like 300 a piece. I think 300's pushing it. I think honestly, I mean, you all just made a bunch of movies that did pretty decent. Like, no offense, but I think it's excessive. But that's just how I feel. But the free market determines.
Absolutely.
But we also have these people also selling blurbs on the back of comics too. Did you know that?
No.
Oh, that's a whole different ball game. That is sick, right? So if you go on Kickstarter, there's all these people who have quotes from people, and what they do is they go around and they hand them their book. They take a picture of holding up their book, and they say, "Oh yeah, this person is bored my book," and I'm like, "Bullshit." So much shit going on, dude. Like,
Wow.
like now you see why I'm jaded, right?
I see. I see.
I'm so jaded because I see all of it. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm sorry. This is what I view it. I view it as a circus, right? And I view it like the whole of Rome. And I'm the only one who's gonna say it. I'm the voice of reason. I need an oracle. Oh, I have so many wrestling jokes to make now.
Yeah.
But again, I just probably got you canceled. I got me canceled. I don't really care. This is gonna be the last interview I ever do.
I doubt that.
This is me sober too, which is even crazier. I usually drink on my Thursdays. Especially when I'm interviewing on a Thursday now. That's just terrible. But no. I mean, I'm really curious what you think of. We all know my opinion on New York Comic Con now and a bunch of other cons, and why I'm probably not ever welcome there ever again. Let me explain what it would take before I ask you this. It would take New York Comic Con or any convention $100,000 in cash to get me to come. And I want 6 hours of a room to talk about whatever I want to talk about.
Mm.
And it will be 6 hours in the greatest 6 hours at that convention. And it would be amazing. It would just be plain amazing. Me going for 6 hours straight. I would just turn into like a 6-hour podcast interview of like rotating guests. And I would do it all. I would do it all. I would go from like crypto expert to like porn star to wrestler to like comic writer to like just pulling a random fan into the hot seat. Oh, it would be amazing. It'd be amazing. It'd be the 6-hour podcast hour. Super show.
That does sound like quite a super show.
In a steel cage.
Ah!
No holds barred. Barbed wire on top of the steel cage.
C4 is underneath the ring.
Tony Khan will be in Gorilla. And we're gonna referee in there. Oh, it'll be great. It'll be great. And then we'll roll a dice to figure out who goes next. A D20.
Right.
But no. All jokes aside, I am curious what you think of where Comic Cons are going and even the pop culture space, because we know how I feel about this whole thing now. I don't think that was a secret. If anybody is shocked by my reaction to this whole thing, I don't know what to tell you. But I am curious because obviously you're still in it, not anymore, but New York Comic Con is probably going to rescind your invitation after this. They see this. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. No. All jokes aside, I am curious to where you see it going because you're still on the scene and I am not.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I think cons are going to always be around. I think maybe at some point, um, certain shows might not make the money that 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 they want to make. They might have to downsize. They might have to be smaller. I feel like at some point in the future, I think the indie shows are going to be on the rise again. What's funny is last year at New York Comic Con, I spoke to a few artists and writers, and a lot of them were saying that other artists and writers were protesting the big shows because they feel like they're not made for what it's really meant to be for, which is the artists and the writers that bring these stories to life for us to read. It's become a gigantic uh just
cultural phenomenon.
sponsorship. Yeah. And I was kind of shocked, but the thing is, several people there told me the same story that a lot of these guys are protesting the big shows. They do all the small shows now, and they just don't do the big shows anymore.
Did you also feel that, and maybe you're not the right person to ask, and if you don't know that, that's fine. Do you also feel that it might be difficult to make money, depending on what you do, either indie or even if you're mid-level Marvel at New York Comic Con? Because I would imagine that a table's very expensive. I would imagine that everything, and also my understanding is the Java Center is unionized, which also raises up costs. Um, I think it is. I could be mistaken, but I don't think I'm wrong on that. Which is something that I think that so if you want to bring something into the Javits Center, with very few exceptions, right? There might be one or two exceptions. If you're bringing in like the prototype car and you're the only person who can drive it, that might be the exception. But beyond that, I mean, it's also more expensive to do something at the Javits Center if it's unionized. And if you don't know the answer to that's fine. I'm not going to press you because that's a technical question, but that's what I would imagine.
I remember
The artist part, I'll make that crystal clear.
I remember the thing is this every year, I won't say any names, but somebody always whenever I see somebody that I know that has a table, oh, hey, how you doing? How's business going? Oh, it's going great. Today's going great. And then, I'll come back the next day, hey, how's it going? What did you do today? Oh, just, everything's okay. I'm just not selling that much today. I think depending on how the day goes, it fluctuates between how well a person is doing. And then by the time you hit Sunday, overall, you'll know how someone is doing depending on what they tell you. But I think it depends on what you're selling, what you're pitching. If the fans that are there are interested in what you got going on, they're going to buy it. They're going to buy it. If they're just not interested, they're not going to buy it. I've had some people complain to me about how they have these big booths that are just for advertisements when they should probably put, 6 artists in that area with tables instead. Writers, or maybe someone that, is an indie creator, crochets stuffies or plushies or whatever, something like that. I don't notice these things until I talk to my friends that work there, because when I'm there, I'm having fun. I'm doing all these things I want to do. But in a business perspective, I just know that from what a lot of my friends tell me.
I have an idea. I have an idea, and I don't need to speak to anybody. I just know exactly what it costs on a base level. And I was speaking to somebody, and I'm not going to mention names, about San Diego Comic Con. I threw a number out to him, and he's like, "Well, you're pretty close. You're pretty close to the number." And I said, "Yes. How did you take that guess?" And I said, "I've been around long enough without ever having to do a comic book or running a prominent comic company. I know how expensive San Diego Comic Con is if you are vending out there. I know exactly how expensive this is, more so than anybody else. And I know exactly what it looks like. And that's it. So I'm sympathetic. I'm sympathetic to a lot of people. And it's the reason why I don't have a brick and mortar store, because that's one less expense I have. And I know exactly how tough it is. And I know people's margins on books. I know their margins. And then comic margins are shit. They're shit. I don't, a $100 variant. It's not what you think, guys. You might think it's a good margin. It's not really a great margin when you got to realize everything that goes into it. So, but I agree in which that, I mean, I have an idea who you're talking about too. I have an idea. Because we know a lot of the same people.
Yeah, we do.
I know a lot of people. I mean, but there's other things too that are just complicated with Comic-Con. We all know how I feel about cosplayers. I hate the word professional cosplayer. I hate it.
I just feel like there's no such thing as a professional cosplayer. You cosplay, you cosplay. You do it for fun, you do it for fun. If you make a few dollars from it, I'm happy for you. But I don't feel like there's such a thing as a professional cosplayer.
It's like saying I'm a professional doctor. That's exactly what it's like saying. Okay, see how ridiculous it sounds when I say it that way. So let next time somebody says I'm a professional cosplayer, say I'm a professional doctor, and let's see their response. Right?
Yeah. You have all the doctors jumping you or something.
I'm a professional doctor, everybody. Like versing, I'm a cosplayer. It's like okay, you're a cosplayer. That's your job. Like, where did this professional bullshit come from? I'm sorry. Like, next time somebody says, "Oh, what do you do?" Next time somebody says, "Oh, I'm a professional cosplayer." Oh, that's funny. I'm a professional, QA'er, quality assurance manager. That's great. I'm a professional at it. Like. Nobody in their right mind ever introduces their job as, "Oh, I'm a professional X," right? Like, I'm sorry. It irks me because it's ridiculous. And until you introduce yourself to a cosplayer that way, they're gonna have to get it. And then if a professional somebody's a professional cosplayer and they do that and they want to be referred to as a professional cosplayer, I'm gonna make them refer to me as a professional quality assurance manager. We're gonna see how this goes real fast.
Oh yeah.
And then when they don't do it, I'm gonna say, "Well, I'm just gonna call you a cosplayer now." Like, we could be professional about this.
Yes.
Well, that's that. And now that I've ruined your career, I figured you knew that your career was gonna be over if you came on my show for like the 9th time.
I mean, what career?
See, my career is only ascending, right? Wait till I get on ESPN. That'll be fun. I'll do a show called The Rundown. Oh my God. It's going to be like on Friday nights once a week. And then I'm just going to run through everything in like an hour. So it'll be like, pardon the interruption, meet Stephen A. Smith. with like Kevin Perkins as like my backup. Oh, it's going to be great.
That would be something.
I don't want Kevin Perkins to speak. I just want Kevin Perkins there. He's big and he's intimidating. I can get away with murder. Like, Kevin Perkins is a big guy. He's a big basketball guy. He's like huge. He barely fits into a suit. It's great.
Jeez.
I love Kevin Perkins, and he speaks so like softly too. When he's like breaking down basketball, it's like the most it's the most like beautiful thing I've ever seen. It's he's knowledgeable and he's great, and like he's just speaking so elegantly and calmly, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you on the court." It's great. It's such like a dichotomy. It's like the opposite of Charles Barkley. It's the exact opposite of Charles
Oh
Barkley.
wow.
Charles Barkley speaks loud, and like Charles Barkley's like, I'm just gonna give you a hug, like a big teddy bear. And Kevin Perkins like, Will, I think this is very calm. And then I'm gonna kill you on the court. It's great. But anyway, I do want to give you a chance to promote yourself. So obviously, where can people find you? What events you got going on? All that stuff. Where can people sign up? Where can people see you at your swapping of stuff of the swap meet? Or yes. The the swap swipe. There we go.
Swag swap.
Swag swap.
You were close. You were close. You were close.
It's been the Andrew Comedy Hour for the last 75 minutes. So the Andrew Crying Hour is next. With a different guest. I'm doing stand-up next week, everybody, by the way. And what I mean by next week is like never. It's terrible. And I am doing stand-up tomorrow night.
Nice.
It's gonna be good. In my
you gotta let me know where I can see it.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm going nice and slow. Going nice and slow on that one, everybody. I'm not ready to publicize my stand-up career yet, but I will most likely do it while I sit down.
Mm.
So I'm gonna bring a chair up on stage, and then I'm gonna sit in the chair and do stand-up. Because I hope you guys don't mind, my disability and all. Just it has nothing to do with physical. I just never learned how to read. As I sit down on crutches. On crutches. I say you should never judge a book by its cover. But if you would like, you could judge a movie by its cover.
Mm.
The other day, I was looking at this movie, The Last of the Mohican, and boy, I live in Connecticut, and I was not happy with that movie. I thought it was about gambling and Indian tribes. I was in for a shock.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
That's who was in that movie?
Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. I also but I do like the last of the Mohicans. It was a good movie. All jokes aside, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
It also inspired my prison breakout, but that's not the point. Hey, they haven't caught me yet.
So Swag Swap will be happening first at TropicCon in Long Island. You can get more information if you just Google TropicCon. It's the first one that pops up. I don't know the hotel name because I've never been there before. But yeah, if you just look up TropicCon, you'll see all the information there. Come bring all your goodies that you don't want anymore, and swap it with other people that don't want what they want, and maybe you want what they want. They want what you want. And we will be having more backpacks there. She will be raffling off one of her custom backpacks, which are really cool, and she'll be there to explain it. And there's going to be a lot of goodies inside it. We don't know what's going to be in it, but when you open it, we'll be just as surprised as you are. Then our next stop is going to be Anime NYC. So same thing, Swag Swap. We're going to be there. The same rules apply. Bring your game, bring it all. And then after that, we are going to be at New York Comic Con doing Swag Swap as well. And as far as I know, that's all the shows we're doing at the moment. And just stay tuned to Geek and Meet, GeekNMeet on Instagram for any other events that we're doing. And you can check out Mora Backpacks, MORA Backpacks, all one word. And then there's moi, Cap Santiago, CAP dash, or is it, no, I think it's CAP dot Santiago, SANTIAGO. It's no longer Dash because I got hacked. So I had to do a new Instagram. So it's cap.santiago.
Oh, yeah, that hack was fun. I think you got hacked on Facebook too, right?
No, just on Instagram, and that really pissed me off because I lost everything.
I got hacked on Instagram. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. I know the feeling. It was not fun. Feels weird. You feel violated. Yeah.
I just hated that they were messaging all my friends like, "Hey, crypto this and crypto that," and it's like, man.
I got one of those from you. I'm like,
Mhm.
what's up, bro? I'm glad you joined the Bitcoin club. Got any advice for me? I said, "Yo, dude, I messaged you back on that." I said, "Oh, dude, you buy some Solana?" I mean, I was engaging. I
No.
was giving them all the good crypto advice.
Well, I hope you didn't listen to whoever that was, because
I said, "What? You really want to recommend this altcoin, dude? I got 20 other ones. I got it better for you." Like I was giving them advice, all the good stuff. No, I mean, you didn't know I'm into crypto for real. I'm a big crypto guy.
nice.
They were messaging me. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? This is really bad advice. I got better advice for you. And I'm wondering if they took it. Like, I'm now really curious. Like, I should follow up. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you want to go with this altcoin? What the hell? This is a really bad one. You don't know this project. What about this and DeFi this? And they got this really thing with real estate over here. And I'm pretty sure the person was like, I should probably not speak to this person ever again. Like, I was so excited to engage. I knew it wasn't you. That's why I was doing it. Like, I thought it was hilarious though, because I'm like, the person was like, what the fuck? I messaged the one person in the world who actually knows this, like who I'm trying to scam, who's like gonna scam me. It was great. I could have probably taken like at least 20 Bitcoin from them in like an hour.
I wish you did.
Oh, I'm not that mean. You know what it is?
He hacked me though.
Yeah, but I'm not that mean. I'm just not. It's like the code. I don't hack people's wallets. My wallet got hacked, and I lost like $300 of Ethereum, and I was upset. Like I don't screw with people's money on like Bitcoin and shit. Like I just don't do that. Like it doesn't. I believe in karma, and I believe in crypto karma. So I'm not gonna go steal somebody's wallet in a crypto position because I wouldn't want to do that to me. Right.
Okay.
So I just don't play in that area and do that shit. Because also the other thing is that a lot of people have been killed over this. And all you got to do is type in cryptocurrency murders on YouTube and you'll go down a rabbit hole for the next week.
Ay.
But anyway, that I don't want to get into that. That's like another 5-hour conversation. Fascinating though. Absolutely fascinating. Pour yourself some whiskey on your Friday night and you're good for like 6-7 hours on YouTube, man. Best fucking whiskey YouTube night. If the girl's out of town, and you don't want to be like terrified and you don't want to wake up and hear a creak in your thing and think, oh my god, somebody's in my house. Crypto murders are the best. They're not. It's fascinating, but not scary. It's
I'm
nice.
taking notes.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. See, this way you're like, is somebody in my house downstairs? I'm getting my baseball bat. Like it's not that, right? But you're like, oh my god, how did this happen? Like, oh, it's great. I digress though. But anyway, I'm gonna promote myself. Obviously, I am Pop Anime Comics on the Twitter / the X. I am not on Blue Sky. Don't come find me on Blue Sky. I am not there. I have a Blue Sky. I don't use it. I don't get it. I have Pop Anime Comics on the gram or the Instagram, as the cool kids are saying it now. Who knew? I am Pop Anime Comics on Facebook. You can find me there too. I am Pop Anime Comics on our graciously saved TikTok by our gracious president, who single-handedly saved TikTok all by himself after nearly destroying TikTok. Very happy about that. I mean, he should be president for at least another 4 terms for that alone. At least. Not all jokes aside, I am Pop Anime Comics on TikTok. find me there. YouTube, Pop Anime Comics. I am right now gearing up to release a lot of content starting in October. So a lot of micro content, some content from, I think our first interview is actually the first live interview is coming back from like 5-6 years ago. So you're all going to get to see a young Santiago, a young Cap Santiago, with early shoot. I don't even know what software I was using back in the day. In like 2020, I think it was. It was like Skype. It was over Skype. It was crazy. So I'm going to be doing that. That content's being released probably starting in October, along with a lot of other cool content and other stuff from a lot of interesting people. So it's going to be wild. It's going to be a wild one. So some of the micro content is people like Barry Yandel, John Grimlin, John Swayze. Who else is in play here? Cherry DeVry, Robin Coffin, Serena Havoc is in play. I think Sarah Richards. Sarah Richards did a lot of My Little Pony comics. So yeah. Like the whole shebang. Charlie Campbell, Gran Torino from My Hero. So like a lot of micro content's coming, everybody. So really cool stuff's coming. But I digress there. And then as far as everything else I do, I am Pop Anime Comics on eBay. And I do sell a lot of cool stuff like this in my store, which is a one-on-one card. I sell cards like this in my store, which are one-on-one cards. I sell stuff like this in my store, one-on-one stuff. I sell comic books like this in my store. I sell stuff like this in my store. I sell this in my store. I do not sell this in my store because this is a human and that is illegal. I want to make that crystal clear. While I do appreciate Megan Bain, Megan Bain, she's on my list to interview. Want to make that crystal clear. She's on my list to interview, and supposedly she's all natural. So you can interpret that however you want to interpret that. That's up to everybody. But yes, I have that, and then I sell stuff like this in my store too, and I'm pretty sure that is not all natural. So but I'm an equal offender to all. I'm an equal offender to all, but I do like Megan Bain. So anyway, having said that, I am all elite, and because that's where she wrestles, and it's so terrible. It's just I can't wait for her to go to WWE. It's not like ESPN has hooks in WWE anymore anyway. Oh wait, they do. In a single day, the NFL made $32.5 million in a single day. So this is why you should become a football fan, everybody. But I digress. And then finally, I do have a other YouTube show called Big Boy Card Collecting, and I break and open up cards and rare cards, and I pull a lot of cool stuff. So that is Big Boy Card Collecting, and you should follow us on Instagram at Big Boy Card Collecting, because that is the only place I announce where I am opening and what I am opening with cards, and also when things are coming out before they do. So if you follow me there, you will be informed on a bunch of cool stuff that is available right now or is going to be coming out in a few days. And you'll also find out when I am opening this stuff up for you all to enjoy on YouTube, and also what I have in my eBay store for sale, or potentially what I have in my eBay store for sale. And if you would like a visual, right there is my eBay store, Pop Anime Comics Collectibles. So look for comics and collectibles. Come shop with us on eBay. And that is everything I have. And I'm going to give you the final word.
Good night and God bless.
I believe that is a wrap, everybody.